Well, friends, we stopped by the hardware store and we picked up some more material to make that vent hood up over Jennifer's stove down there. Picked up just a couple of 2x2s for framing, and then this is some rough cedar that she got to kind of match some of the rough material that we've already got, because she doesn't want the smooth look. But we ran to town real quick because she kind of changed her mind once we got the front part of it done. She said she wanted it a little bit wider, so we went and got a board to replace that, and they're back down here working on the excavation, so let's go check them out. I'm just going to put a smidgen of glue on it because we don't want to have to sand it off if we can help it. There we go. Add the rest of that right there. Now I got it. Now you can move. I'm putting these actually on the side to avoid any more holes on the front side. I actually put one of these in between there, and then we're going to put this one at the top. So I'm just adding a little bit of extra strength here. Alright, now we're going to put one at the top. Well, we're putting just a little bit of bracing on here. And this is kind of what it's going to look like. It's a little bit confusing, but you'll see what we're doing here shortly. Now. Okay, now we're going to screw that from the back so that we don't have to look at it. Alright guys, what we're doing here is we're building the sides of the box. We decided what we're going to do is use this piece of wood right here and the one on the bottom, a couple of screws in each one of those to hold this up against the wall. Then the hood range, or the range hood, will mount last. So I'm just trying to get the sides covered here on this top portion so that we can go ahead and hang it on the wall. We decided we would put a cap on the top of it right here, make it look a little bit better. All right, friends, I think that we have this built the way that she's asking to have it built. They had a funeral they had to go to. So I'm going to put this piece of trim over there and have this one here. And then she's going to stain it before we can put it up. But the way that I fixed it was, these are not connected yet. We can take this, and this off. Then all we have to lift is this portion right here. And once we get it up there, get our range hood mounted in there, we'll come back and add these pieces, and it will already be stained and it will be done. But I think it looks pretty good. Alright friends, we're waiting on this thing to dry, but I think it turned out pretty good. Sorry about not being able to film a lot, but when you got your hands covered with all that stuff and glue and things like that, it's hard, you know, when you're working to turn the camera on and off. But we added just a few pieces of trim. A lot of this will come back off. It's just basically kind of set there so that we can get in there to screw it. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like. And I've never done anything like that before, so I think it looks okay. We just hope that she doesn't think it's too dark. You know, it will match the floor and the kitchen door though. We know that. Anyway, we're going to let it dry, and when she comes back, we'll find out yay or nay.
A man's work is never done. He's worked here all day at my house. And then
Well, good morning, friends. You know, I got to thinking, I'm probably going to have to slow down working down there at Jennifer's place, because every time I go down there, I forget my hat, you know? So, no, I'm just teasing. Patrick is already down there. We had breakfast this morning. I came back up to make a phone call here at the house because I needed to make reference to some paperwork, and so I'm heading back down there. That range hood that we worked on is dry now. So we're going to, I think, try to tape off the cabinets and hang it if we can. So I'll meet you down there. What I'm trying to do is take this paper, like I said, and cover up her cabinets so that we don't get any of that stain on them trying to mount it. Well, now that should help me when I try to go ahead and hang the cabinets, so I don't have to worry about brushing up against those and getting any of that stain on there. The only thing that I have to worry about is this wall below this mark, because you won't see that anymore. But I think what I'm going to do is cut two 2x4s to go from here and stand on the edge of this. That way when I get it up there, I can set it there, and that will support the weight while we screw it in. I'm putting this here just to kind of help keep it to where it won't fold over to the side. This is just makeshift, but it should support the weight of that. And it's even with the line up here when I set it up there. All right, friends, when we take the range hood and we put it in the bottom right there where it's going to mount after we mount this, because I've got to get in here and screw that to the wall. I didn't realize that this right here, the cord, is going to go right about there. So Patrick went to get a handsaw. We're going to have to saw this out. Then we're going to go ahead and screw the back of that into this little 2x2 so it will continue to hold and support, because we got to cut that out. Now you can take that off. Now, we're using this to screw into from the bottom. All right, here we go. Okay. Got it. Keep going. All right, friends, here we go. Okay. Okie doke. See if I can get up top. And it matches this barn door as well. Alright, I'm going to take this out so that I can get this paper off. Okay. Well, that's a tight fit. All right, what do you think, friends? That's a pretty tight fit if you ask me. Alright friends, this is the one that's a little tricky because I got to bend it in there. And slide them both back in there together. That's the trick. Yeah, we got lights, we got fans. Oh, there's medium, high. We got a low in and off. But yeah, you know, remember I showed you the picture of the one that Jennifer kind of liked. But then once we got to building this, we kind of got off and she wanted something changed. We kind of got off on our own little theme here. I think it turned out quite nice, and first time project for one of these, but yeah, at least she didn't have to buy it and she saved some money. Well friends, we just found out that they're on their way with a load of gravel. I don't know how many loads because it's going to take several, but thought I'd come. I think that's them coming now, so let's check it out.
mud.
Well, friends, we don't know if we made a big mess or not. We were trying to create a burn pit and at the same time be able to drain some of that field. So it's probably going to drain for a while because that field was full. Y'all remember that, right? Anyway, we're going to let it kind of drain to where it stops, kind of check to see where we're at from there. We may have to make a few adjustments, but we're trying to find a place, like I said, to create a burn pit. That way we can put all the slabs in there, burn them, and not have to worry about burning the woods down up here. I am marking to make a frame to fill the void in there where the air conditioning unit is. Let's see if we can get this piece up in here. Up in there like that. That will hold this right here, just like that. All right, friends, she can paint that now and leave it up there. Well, friends, hope you enjoyed that little build. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing in the next video, but I guess we'll find out. Thanks so much for stopping by. We certainly do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.